guys, hope you're having a great day today. All right, today is our homemaking with Amy series, and I'm outside. That's because my household is full of children and it's louder. So I thought I'd come out here, do some talking, and then I'll go in and show you what we have done. So I've been asked by one of my viewers to help her figure out how to do her kids' rooms and control the clutter, because it's always a mess. And I'm like, that's like a trial and error thing. So I was like, okay, today I can talk about kids' rooms. So we've gone through our rooms, right, and our stuff, and so today is gonna be cleaning your children's rooms. Yes. So if you don't have children, skip this week and watch next week. So I'll save you a lot of viewing, because I'll tell you now instead of at the end. So today's gonna be cleaning kids' rooms. Now every kid's room is different. It depends on, you can organize it perfectly and have a huge room and have a space for everything and have all the greatest storage units and all that, and that's awesome. I don't have the perfect way to organize a kid's room. Don't have that. We have a lot of kids to pay for, so we've done what we can, and that's the best we can do. So I'll share what I've done when they were little, and I'll share what we do now with how we organize everything. So what are the biggest things in a kid's room that make a mess? Clothing and toys, right? Like the other stuff, it's just furniture. Maxine's here, and Ruby, hello. Furniture and clothes. I mean, kids' toys and clothing. So that's what I'll talk about today. Do I have the perfect thing figured out? No. Have my kids' rooms been a disaster? Oh yeah. My boys' room? Oh, walking it right now, mess. But it rained yesterday and they were inside. So no, nothing's perfect. I'm not gonna have the perfect house all the time. I can control my areas of the house where I'm working and that thing, and make sure kids keep their stuff picked up. But bedrooms, I've kind of allowed them to, you know, be able to have free reign, do their thing. They have to keep them somewhat picked up. I'm not going to allow total trash, but I do like, okay, straighten your room up, make sure your desk is clean, make sure your floor is picked up. Is it perfect? No. Sometimes I have to go back in there and kind of go through and organize, or one of the girls that loves to organize will go through and go, okay, I'm going to organize this room out. So we go through it, I don't know, every few months and kind of throw away the trash, do those things. What I found with kids, if you help them a little bit to kind of pick up and kind of straighten, is it perfect? No. I used to be the make it pretty perfect, and then guess what? A child would play and I would get mad because they made a mess and they didn't keep it picked up, and that is not the way to be. Mama's kids should be able to play, do their thing, make messes, and just have fun in their rooms. It's a room, right? So what I've learned is that they usually are pretty messy. They just don't know how to clean things up. I mean, and maybe you have a clean child. I had a clean child that likes to pick up and put away and is super good with their toys. I've had one of those, but I also had ones that are messy. And then what I found is that as they hit about the age of 10 to 12, I know it seems like a way far way off, they naturally want to take care of their stuff. If you are naturally kind of keep your house picked up. About that age is when they start realizing to keep their stuff picked up. Do they all do it at 10? No, not at all. But I've seen the awareness. I know Autumn, she likes to collect things, she likes to have things, and that's okay. I have a couple children that love stuff. I have kids that don't love stuff, that just go through and weed out all the time, and always have. But I have ones that collect, and I used to have to go through and do a secret clean out, and that's never fun because it's devastation. Don't clean out your kids' rooms and weed out if you need to when they are there. That's the worst thing to do. So I'll use Autumn as an example. So she has a lot of stuff, she loves it. We had to go through and detox her room out, detox their corner out, and that was okay. At her age, which is 11 years old, I have to think of the age of my children. She's 11 years old, right? Yes, she's 11, sorry. She's gonna be 12 this year. I have found that she loves to organize, and she likes to keep her stuff picked up. She has a lot of things, but she at least organizes and puts them away. Now, and then she likes, and her, you know what her favorite job is for the chore list? Is helping the boys in their room. Does anybody need to help the boys? No, they can do it themselves. They're not going to, because they're boys. Girls can be that way too, but my boys are not very clean right now. So what I found is she likes to help organize their room, and she likes to straighten things and do things, and go through, and I'm like, that's a great quality to have. Now, the boys just, the last few months, I started seeing a change in Jensen where he wants things picked up. The together too, disaster sometimes if I let them. But I'm seeing Jensen get into that 10-year-old where he's like, okay, I want to keep my stuff picked up, and he has his stuff straightened up, and he's always like, that's not my mess, that's Steven's mess. And so what happens when I found that kids share rooms, the older sibling will eventually want to take on that role and start like, hey, you clean your stuff up, pick that stuff up over there, and you're not gonna have to do all that, mamas. Now sometimes I have older teens, and I do. One of them is super perfectly neat in her room. The other one likes a little bit more stuff and doesn't see the need to pick it up all the time. So we just need a gentle reminder to like, hey, you gotta pick up your corner over there, or you need to clean that stuff up over there. And so just having that is huge. But I found that most naturally do pick up their stuff. And then even if you have a teenager that does not clean their room up, does not take care of their stuff, like by the time my kids are teenagers, they like a clean room, most of them. I found my, well, I can't say that. Let me think. My oldest, I won't say which child, but because I don't embarrass them if they're watching mom's videos. But okay, so I've got 4 older kids, right? 2 boys and 2 girls. Some of them have always been super neat, super good about keeping things picked up, moved out, have a house. Wait, super neat. That's gonna give that away, isn't it? Okay. We're gonna skip who I'm talking about. But I found that the ones that are clean, they like to move out and they're clean. The ones that are here and they make a mess and you have to get after them all the time to pick up their stuff, guess what? When they move out on their own, they gotta do that. Sometimes they just do it because you're here and you'll do it for them. If you enable them, don't enable them, Mom. But sometimes you can. I don't mind that. Sometimes I do mind picking up stuff in my house for my kids. I don't mind doing that stuff, but when you're forced to do something, you do it. You usually do. That's how that kind of works out. So I found that they just pick up. I've seen my boys go from sloppy teenage boys to grown men that do their own stuff and naturally like to keep a room clean, and girls that like to collect things that naturally learn to organize and go through, and one that has become a professional organizer as a job because she does so good at it, but she never did that as a young teenager. So kids do, they will grow up. If you show them, hey, we gotta have a place for everything, kind of keep that in your house, that normalcy, they'll do that as they get older, right? That's how that works. So, but what happens, let's go on to when the kids were little. When the kids were little and everything is on you, it's a lot. So that means moms, you have to have that organization tool going on. So the best thing I found, like I loved my friends that had a family closet. Loved it because laundry, it was huge, especially if you have little ones. And to have everything go into one room and everybody goes to that room and gets their own clothes, ugh, greatest thing ever. I like longed for one room to put all our clothes. Longed for it. Did I get it? No. Wasn't able to in our house. So what I did do is I had 6 little kids. That we had our 4 older ones and 6 little ones. So the 2 older boys' laundry was together in their room, obviously, and the 2 older girls' laundry was in their room, and they took care of that and put that away. Then I had 6 little kids. They were all under 6 years old, 7 years old. I had all their laundry and clothes in one closet, in one room, even though they weren't sharing that room. That just worked out good for me when I had to put laundry away because there's a lot of it and I have 0 time. So what I did is I took one of the bedrooms, which was the toddler room, and they had a bigger closet, and that is where we put everything. I got those big plastic storage drawers. I had longer ones for the older girls because they had, you know, their clothes were bigger, and then I had the skinny ones for the little ones. And so what I would do is we had a bin for underwear and socks. We had a bin for leggings, and we had a bin for pajamas. And so if you look back on blog posts, which I have done my blogging before vlogging, you would see I just kind of throw the clothes in there because I didn't care if it was clean or not organized and folded. I still to this day don't care to fold all my stuff in my drawers because they're like leggings, they don't get wrinkly. But I hung up everything else. We hung up, the girls always wore dresses. It just works out when you have little kids, girls to wear dresses. For me, it did. Instead of having a top and a pant and trying to find matches, it was easy for us to have one style leggings. I still kind of do that now. We all wear black leggings. As they get older and teenagers, they kind of pick their own thing and wear it, and that's completely fine. But when they're younger, it's easier for me to go buy black leggings for everybody, and then now they wear more like tunic tops, but some like dresses. But when they were little, I said dresses. I'd have enough dresses for during the week, 5 for during the week, and we'd have a nice one for church on Sunday. Sometimes I'd have 2, so they alternate during the month. And so that all got hung up. The boys' t-shirts got all hung up. Same thing, pants for the boys went in the drawers. But that was how I organized their clothing bins. And I even put little stickers. They got cute things now, but back in the day I just put little mailing stickers on there and labeled the drawers of whose clothes they were. And that is how we organized the clothing. I kept it to a minimal because it was easier. When you are dealing with a lot of stuff and a lot of kids, last thing you need to worry about is clothing. Now, if you're home all the time, you don't need that many clothes. If you go out all the time, you're going to need more. When you're at home, kids can wear the same thing pretty much all the time, especially if you're doing laundry. So for the girls, before, it just depends on how much laundry you do. For us now, I make sure that all I'm going to say my younger 4, because that's who I have to kind of buy clothes for. The older ones, you know, they can get their own clothes and they keep track of them and know how much to buy. But I'm going to say the younger 4, who I kind of pick up their clothes and buy for them. They can pick, but it's not a necessity. So the girls, I make sure they have 5 pairs of leggings or capris. That's what they like to wear. That's what we do. So I make sure there's 5 so that if I don't do laundry Monday and just Friday, there's enough to wear for the week. If you just buy 3 pairs, which is fine, then do laundry more often. Whatever works in your family. So we do 5 pairs. Everybody's got 5 pairs of, like right now I went through and made my clothing list, and you're gonna see this. Actually tomorrow, Greg and I are gonna go clothing shopping for the younger set, and so you'll see what we get and you know, all that good stuff. And so I've gone through, they have a couple that are still good, that I made a note of ones, and the ones that are ripped we threw away. So they get 5 pairs of leggings, black, easy. Sometimes I'll go, oh, let's buy colored ones, just because they can go with that top. But what I find is they can only wear it with that top, and if something happens to that top, you can't wear it with anything else. Black matches everything, so we just do black. It's easy, works out good. So we get 5 pairs of those. Then they get their underwear. When I had little kids, and they were like the same size, like a 2-year-old and 3-year-old, underwear is hard to tell the difference. Sometimes through a 4-year-old, it's hard to tell the difference. And so what I would have to do, I have a girlfriend that we moved here, and she would come shop. I'm like, it's socks and underwear shopping day, and she's like, oh, okay, cool, I'll come with you. And she came and she's like, oh my goodness, that's like stressful times, because what you have to do, because when you're sorting laundry and it's you doing it, it's hard to know whose underwear they are without looking at the tag, and that takes time. So I would have to buy a different color or a different brand, usually like Hanes and Fruit of the Loom. Now they have a Walmart one, but they didn't back then, so you had to make sure you got different kinds, because sometimes a brief a child would wear and a bikini, and sometimes they look the same in size. If they're like a bigger size bikini and a smaller size brief, they look like almost the same size. So it's very confusing. So I would recommend buying a totally different brand with the different colors, and then that way you know whose is whose. And so now my girls, their sizes are, you can definitely tell the difference in them. My boys are close, so that's harder, but I try to get different kinds. And so when I go shopping, I'll get one style for one girl, one style for another girl. And then what I've also found for little tiny girls, sometimes the briefs are better and they're easier to keep up than the bikini kinds. When they get older, they might want to wear a bikini, but the brief just covers their areas a little bit easier, and they don't fall down, and they just fit nicer. So for girls, boys, same thing. I try to get one kind and another kind for the other one, just to make it easier when you're putting it away. Now socks, same rule. For a while I was able to get the same size for Jensen and Steven and the same size for Autumn and Maddie, but Autumn then grew up and her socks do not fit her, the same little ones, so I have to buy different sizes for both of them. Same thing with Jensen, he's going through that growing phase, and so all the socks that would fit Steven I get a little bit bigger, and then Jensen could still fit into them. But now they have to have different, so as of right now they have a whole bin full of just black socks mismatched, they throw them on whatever. So when I go shopping this time, I'm going to get a pair with different colors for Jensen and a pair with different colors for Steven to make sure they're different. Same thing with Autumn, because I got some for Christmas from Grandma, and the problem is they were the same brand, and it's so hard to tell whose socks are whose. So when we go shopping, we'll definitely pick out one for one age, one for another. That's what we're gonna do. Same thing with boys' clothes. My boys have plenty of shorts. I like to have more than 5 pairs of shorts for the boys. So, well, let me go back to the girls. Girls have the leggings. So then I worry about tops. Madeline still likes to wear dresses, so I'm just gonna go look for sleeveless dresses for her, because it's hot here, it's easy. 5 dresses. She's good for during the week. What I found, I would always go Goodwill shopping and find tons of deals. I love that, love it. I still will when everything opens up, but they find and wear the same 1, 2, or 3 outfits, and that's it. And they like to wear them over and over again, and I'm okay with that because we're home most of the time. I pick out a few outfits, and they already have those nicer ones, so that when we go to church and we have gatherings, we get together with friends, they have a nicer outfit to wear. But the time during the week when we're just like going to the pool and coming home and being at home, or going outside in the yard or doing whatever, just get easy, comfy outfits. So Maddie, simple tank top dresses. That's what she wants to wear. I will go buy those at Walmart for her this week, and so she'll have enough. I figured 5 outfits for during the week, and then she actually has a few extras for the weekend because she has hand-me-downs. Autumn, I went through all her clothes. She needs nothing. I'm like, you have so many nice clothes in here, so she's got plenty. But I probably will, as the mom, buy something extra just to say, hey, I got you something special, because you know, kids like that too. So then the girls will be finished with their stuff. And then the boys, they have shorts. Again, I have a lot of shorts. I went through their closet and saw that they have plenty of shorts, which is great. So what I'll do is I will focus on shirts for them. I don't just get 5 tops for them, because boys are very hard on their clothing, So what I'll do is pick out a few more tops of t-shirts. I'll probably get 5 more, and they already have some in their closet for them to wear. A couple nice ones for church, and the rest for during the week. And they just like being boys, simple. They don't like tank tops, so t-shirts will work for them. They have shorts, so I'm not worried about it. They still have pants, so they are good for that. And then I go on to all the kids get shoes. Everybody has a pair of hiking shoes or tennis shoes. Then they have a pair of closed-toed sandals. because we can go hiking through water, and everybody gets flip-flops. And then a nicer pair of shoes for church. Sometimes the sandals can go for church. It just depends on what you do. But that's what we do in our home. For everybody to have shoes. When they were little, I just had 2 pairs of shoes, a nice pair and an older pair, like a dirty pair, and that was just for outside playing, and the other one was inside. That just worked good for having little ones because their feet change so much, and I didn't want to be buying shoes all the time. So I've got their shoe size written down. Sometimes it's hard when they're growing to know the shoe size. We have a lot of extras here, so I was able to kind of make sure I know what size shoe they wear. Put their foot on a piece of paper and outline their foot, and then you'll know what you need when you go to the store. In pajamas, they have plenty of pajamas. Boys, you'll see my boys love their pajamas. They love long, sweaty pajamas even in summer. My girls like wearing their leggings from the day with a t-shirt. That's what they like wearing for bed. The girls now keep all their stuff in cubes in their room. The boys do as well. Each bin has different things in it, and then we hang everything else up. Now, if you're not working diligently on clothing, it will add up and make a big giant mess and overtake you. Less is best. What I did before I figured out how many I need, when I was like, how much do I really need? I would buy way less and then see how much I had to keep doing laundry. And then I came up with, okay, I need 5 pairs. It works easily. Sometimes I just had 3 because that's all I bought before, and I realized they were running out of leggings in the days that I didn't keep up on the laundry. So get enough to keep yourself up with laundry. All right, and as far as toys for kids, I'm not an expert on what toys to keep for your kids. Back in the day, if you asked my 4 older ones what they did for their toys, we had a plastic storage tub, like those ones that you store decorations in. That was what all their toys had to fit into. That's all we had. It was easy, it worked. Whatever didn't fit in there, we got rid of. We kept a few bigger things like a train set, Legos, blocks, that kind of stuff, but whatever didn't fit in dollhouse accessories, that kind of thing, but if it didn't fit in that box, we didn't keep it. That was the easiest toy cleanup in my entire existence of life. Then we moved to our home. When we moved to North Carolina, I had to get rid of even more. Each kid we had a lot at our old house, and then I had to get rid of a lot, and we only took like a tub size thing for each kid. We moved to our house here. It was way smaller, our rental house. So thank goodness for the less toys on that. Kids survived and they did great. Well, then we moved into a bigger house. Our house here, you can fit stuff. So my kids have collected a lot of stuff over the years. They have lots of giving friends, lots of giving grandparents, and lots of parents that love them as well with giving. So what I do now, I'm not super strict like I used to because my girls are big enough to pick up their mess. My boys, they should be big enough to pick up their mess, but sometimes they need some help. We go through and clean out their stuff frequently and do that. So less is best. Get some simple basic toys. That's all your kids need. That's what I've found with our kids. Now my girls love their dollhouse. They used to love dollhouse. Now we're into Barbies. Dollhouse set they would have, and tons of it. Here comes Ruby. But now they do Barbies, and so we've had to weed out the Barbie stuff over the years because if you have a lot of big stuff, it takes over. What I've found is they never use the Barbie doll houses and all those big giant things. They like setting their little homes up on the floor. I did that as a kid too, so skip the big giant house, let them just set up houses on the ground. Lots of accessories, all that fun stuff for them to do. That's what they like doing. Then they have their doll corner. Maddie still likes baby dolls, and so she does a lot of that baby stuff. So we have a couple bins for her to keep all her baby stuff in. And Autumn the same. They like the American Doll, My Life type girls, and they have things for that, and they keep those in their separate bins. We just kind of go through and clean out and organize it once in a while for them. They have extra things. They like Legos, that kind of stuff. And so as they're older, they have more variety than when they were little. When they were little, keep it simple. Keep it simple for their toys. It'll make your life so much easier. Boys, same thing. They like their trucks, they like their dinosaurs, they like their Legos, they like their building things. They have a variety. They're getting older where they like just certain things, so we're able to weed out the extra toys because they like more building, they like more doing Legos, that kind of stuff. Ruby, stand in front of me with her big giant drill. Thank you, Ruby. So as they get older, it gets easier for the cleanup, but just weed out. Get some plastic storage bins and store their toys. All right, I had to come back, get a new battery, and the dogs are barking. So kids' toys, if you have a lot of little ones and they're little and they just have a lot of like mismatched toys, get some storage bins. Let's go over here where the sun doesn't come. Get some plastic storage containers, real cheap at the store, and alternate their toys. We did that when they were a lot. We had a big box full of blocks. Wooden blocks were great to accumulate and play with, but we'd only pull them out at a certain time. So I would have a room, I had a closet, and it had all our messy toys. In that messy toys area was a box of Mr. Potato Head, and I collected over the years with all the accessories. That was in one. We had the magnetic balls and sticks thing. We have that now. We had a big box of wooden blocks. We had a big box of Duplo blocks, one of the Mega Blocks one. We also had A lot of Matchbox cars, so I put those in a bin. We had, I'm trying to think, it's been a long time. We had a bin of like little tiny, those little, just like you get like a bag full of dinosaurs, a bag full of sea creatures. We had those, so I put those in a different bin for them to play with. We also had like little tiny wooden people, put those all in a bin. We had a farm, we had the farm set. So I wouldn't keep the barn, but because I couldn't keep everything over the years, but I kept all the farm animals. That went into a container as well. And so we did those sort of things, and I put them in the little people. The little people, the kids love the little people. We had the little people. Mostly they like toddlers and preschoolers like to line up those little toys. So we kept the little people in a bin as well. That stuff that made a mess went into a closet area, and everything was stored in there. Certain times during the day, every day, it was okay, toy time, what do you want to play with? And I would go get that bin and they could play with it. When they were finished, we put it away. That helped me hugely when I had a lot of little ones, because I wanted them to have toys. I didn't want them just to have one container, but I had to keep control on the clutter and the mess. So do that with your stuff, and then that way, put it away. They want to play with it, you can get it out separately and play with it. The stuff in the room they had were like big trucks for the boys, babies for the girls. That's what we kept in their bedroom. There was only, you know, I kept like one bottle, one blanket, an outfit to change into. They didn't need that much stuff because they were little and they didn't have to have such mess. But if you have a lot of accessories and a lot of those odd end toys and people give it to you, and that's wonderful, put them in bins. And if there's a lot of toys, put them in there and then alternate the toys out. Put them in the garage, up in your attic, and then like for 2 weeks, let them play with the ones they have in their room, and then guess what? Pack those up, put the other ones away, and get those new other ones out. Your kids will think you have new toys for them, seriously. So that works that way as well. Some people do the rule, bring in toys, get rid of some, and that's completely good to do as well. Just whatever works for your family. Like I said, we've been up and down over the years. If you looked at my kids' room right now, you'd be like, oh, that's not definitely minimal toys, Amy. No, it's not. But my kids are at a place where they can pick up their stuff on their own right now, most of the time. And so, but when they were little, those were some of the things that I did to keep their rooms clean. I never did a whole lot of decorating in the rooms because kids just are messy, and I didn't do that kind of stuff. Even now, they have a few things like the boys in their wall. They just have shelves to store everything on. And then they have, Colin gave them a TV. So they have a TV with Xbox, but they can watch DVDs in it. But then they also have a TV on their wall. So they have 2 TVs in their room right now. And I'm like, what do I do with that? Because I don't want to get rid of the TV. So as of now, that's how it's working in their room. And the girls, they have, Lauren has a TV on her wall in there. So I'm just thinking maybe when she leaves, we'll give one of the TVs from the boys' room downstairs. There you go, I just solved my problem. That'll work. And then the girls can watch TV in there, because they usually watch TV in the living room downstairs, and then in their bedrooms they just do their devices or whatever. And they don't have any toys in their room except a few things stored under the bed, like Barbie sets. Their toys all kind of go in their corners and on their desk that Greg had made. And I'll go down and show you. You've already seen it, but I'll go down and show you again how their stuff is stored and their clothing. So that's what works for us. We also keep, back to clothing, I just remembered, a coat. You get one winter coat and one summer hoodie jacket. That's all we need here, and a bathing suit, of course. So those are my, I'm trying to think if that's all my suggestions on keeping kids' stuff down. That's what you got to do. If there's arts and crafts, keep that out of their room as well. Like right now, Stephen has a whole bin full of arts and crafts for just him, and I'm okay with that. I bought it for Christmas. He constantly went into my room and got all my little things out, and I'm okay with that too, but it just made my room a mess. So I just got him a bin, and I put tons of craft stuff in it. He's got permanent markers, he's got glue sticks, he's got pipe cleaners and construction paper, all this stuff, because he likes making stuff, and I'm okay with that. So I gave that to him in his room. I wouldn't give it to him if he was completely messy. Preschooler, no, that would be separate, and they'd have to play with it at the table. So you just do what you can do. I found the big giant bulky toys, like a big giant racetrack or a big giant Barbie house or a big giant doll furniture is nice, but they play just fine with just the smaller things, like just a baby or just the cars or the little people without the barn. That's what works. We had train sets. I thought the train table was awesome. Love the train table. I found that they stopped playing with the train table. And you know when they loved playing with it? When it was in a box and they could build whatever train table they wanted. It worked. That's what I found kids do. We've had a train table many times over the years. And the first one I was like, oh, I'll get the great big train set, put it all out. We actually glued it down onto a piece of felt, had it, never played with it. Then the next boy would come along, I'm like, I'm gonna get that train table again. I got a nice train table, I got it all set up, and then they just destroyed it when it was on the table. I'm like, this is not good. And the little boys, I'm like, oh, they had a train table given to them. They never used it. They like just playing with their people and stuff on the table. But they liked a train set. Actually, most of mine, they liked building for a little bit. Then they went to just liking the cars and hooking them together and racing them around on the floors. that's what worked good. It just was simple that way. We just did that tool set same way. Some little boys like the tool set. We had some for a while, and then they like just would be done playing with it. And you know, boys like real tools. They like real tools like Dad. So we'd have a real tool set that they could play with. They had to keep it put away, and then they could play with it or use it when we had to repair something to do. And so those are just some things that we've done. We've collected dollhouse over the years, had lots of dollhouse. The little, is it Little People? Loving Family Dollhouse, I think is the name. It's been a long time. I think it's Loving Family Dollhouse. I don't even know if they sell it anymore, but we had that for so many years. And that's what my kids played with. We did that for so long. Didn't have any Barbies. Kind of was like anti-Barbie, it's bad. And then I was like, you know, it's just a doll, it's okay. And then my girls, like, didn't let them play with it. And then I realized, you know what, they're still gonna grow up to be successful, strong women, even if they play with the Barbie doll. And not get that persona that they have to look like Barbie. So they love Barbies, they love Barbie accessories. We'll let them play with it. They do fine with that. So those are the tips I'm going to give to you for keeping kids' clothing and toys gone through. I'm not going to walk you through because your kids' room is different than mine, but I suggest you take this week. You're going to do two things this week. It's going to take you some time, moms. You're going to go through all your kids' clothing. I said it. And you're going to go through and see what they have and throw out the shirts that have rips and stains and tears and get it, and then get what you know what you have left for them to wear. Go through their bins, go through and see what you need. I didn't throw away all my kids' socks and underwear yet because I have to go to the store and buy some. But I know when I get them, they will go out in the trash, and the new ones will go in the drawer for the summer. That's what I want you to do this week. So you're gonna have a couple. Remember, schedule a half hour today, half hour every day, from like 1 to 1:30, cleaning kids' room. Start with their clothing, get that done. Do an hour if you can. And then you're gonna go on to cleaning out their stuff. You're gonna go through everything, get some kind of containers to put stuff in. Dollar Store's got great big baskets you can put things in. They're like the size of a cube drawer. That works. We like the cubes drawers. Those have held up greatly for my kids. There's probably 1,000 other ways to organize them. That's just what worked for us. We got ours from Big Lots. I love them, love their bins. We've had them ever since we lived here, and they're only, I don't even think I've had to, I think one hasn't even ripped yet. I don't even think I've had to replace any, which is awesome. My kids are hard on their stuff. So go through that stuff. All right, then you got another phase this week. Deep cleaning the kids' room. Do we gotta do that one? No, that's what you're gonna do this week. Clothing and toys. Next week's video is gonna be deep cleaning their room off, because kids are messy and kids are dirty. Yes, they are. So we'll do that next week. But this assignment this week is gonna be deep cleaning out their clothes and their toys. So you guys got this. So I'm gonna go in and I'm gonna show you their storage system for what they have, what we use here. It's not perfect, it's not to a T. Maybe it'll give you some ideas for what you can do for your family. All right, in the boys' room, see they have these bins for their clothes. So each one has, like, one will have socks, one has underwear, one has jammies, one has pants, one has shorts, and then there's bathing suits up here. So this is what we do for their room. All right, for their toys, we have some in containers here, like those doll cars, and these are bins for their toys. They just kind of put them away. Legos as they do. That's how that works. And sometimes it's nice and clean, and sometimes they're just plain, and that's okay too. All right, the girls down here, we bought these, and we put their stuff in here. So I know Jaden has like 3 rows, Brooklyn has 3 rows, and then these down here, 2 are for Autumn and 2 are for Maddie. So they keep like underclothes, socks, pajamas, their leggings, their short and their long ones, pajamas, and they do keep like flip-flops and stuff inside. So this is what we do for the girls for now. All right, so hopefully that gave you some motivation, some inspiration for things you can do in your home. That's what works for us right now. Will we change it in 6 months when Lauren leaves? Probably. Would we change it if we moved? Probably. We have to do what we can do for our home situation. And right now, maybe what's the cheapest, maybe what's the most cost effective, it just depends on what the availability that you have in your home. So, all right, get to it. You're gonna clean out those toys and clean out that clothing this week for those kids. And if you don't have kids, remember, you're just passing over this video. I'm good with that. So you guys have a fantastic rest of your day, and we're gonna see you again tomorrow for Shopping with Greg. We're gonna get that stuff for Mother's Day and also for the kids and all their clothing. All right, we'll see you tomorrow. Bye.